and you saying you X, Y, and Z, aren't they going to say, well, I've already seen the devastation of that, and that person's still doing it, so they can keep that God there. We got to understand what happens when we doing stuff that is already proven to be devastating to our community. Now you do what you want, okay, in your own mind. And I'm not going to say it's fine, because you already know it's devastating. But the bottom line is that people see you when you know not. And so at that point, we're saying that those things that have been devastated is okay as long as you've done it. But then at the same time, we asking the question, why did Musa have a hard time symbolizing the devil in the year 2000 BC? And we need not ask that question, because we already know that. See, this stuff is just too simple. And we have so many excuses as to why we keep doing stuff. You know, and like I said, I'm not against anyone. I love my brothers, I love my sisters. But at one point or another, we're going to have to say, you know what? Little by little, eliminate this, eliminate that, because you know how many funerals are there? And I'm not going to say that all of them could have been avoided. I'm not going to say that. But I think that there's some that could have been avoided. I think that us having the knowledge that we have, we're supposed to be living. When I first got 120, you know what I said? I said, I'm going to be around for 120 years because I want to see my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren. I'm going to be around for 120. That was my projection. That I would be around that long. But you can't be around for so long if you don't deal with the science of refinement.
That's right.
Because if you're not dealing with refinement, I don't care what you say, you ain't got no power. Because the idea of the power is to bring about the change. The ability to do work. In the first place you're going to do work is where? On ourselves, right? So if I see somebody doing the same thing and they say they got power and they not dealing with refinement, then I know there's really real change. And the longer you leave poison around, the more it affects you. You may not see it because it creeps slowly. Before you know it, it done took over more than you expected it could in that short period of time. So that's all I'm going to say for now.
Thanks, Steve.
How you been, man? I'm fine. One small thing before we conclude. Peace to everybody again.
Peace to everybody.
Yeah, again, man, peace. Thank you, great bill, like always, man. And so the God's correct. Just want to reiterate. So I teach Saturdays in my class from 1 to 3, right? At the law school. Because I find at 120, I think I had, you know, still in our old age, I'm still finding myself arguing needlessly, or sometimes not, you know, I put with brothers over degrees, and, you know, but I have to tell, you know, because I went on YouTube a lot too, information, and a brother told me, he said, "God, what do you mean by don't read 120 like a dead letter read?" Right? Because, you know, again, a lot of Christians who don't like the God just have to go through. Right? If I'm not going to go through the understanding, and I'm just going with the allegory, right? I mean, I'm just being like, yeah, I'm with my eyes wide or eyes wide shut, right? And I'm telling him that we're not taking 120 on face value either. But absolutely, I'm not saying nothing. I would never. I'd be remissing my duties as a God or a teacher to say that there's something wrong, but you're not going to take that on face value to me. Hence, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? So, then we jumped the cruise though. Then we went to, because I did this too when I was younger. When we used to date mathematics, now I understand. So, I used to always say when I came to this degree, 140, that the but meant born again was the truth. God, you born again was the truth. I said, God, well, first of all, that's answers to the contrary. Because 5 degrees earlier, we talked about what makes it. And all the above is caused by you. And then it goes into the actual conditions that makes rain, hail, snow, earthquakes. What the earth is, how we travel, and the whole nine. But 5 degrees later tells you what brings it. What actually means on the contrary. Right? You know, so on the contrary of what you read, 5 degrees later, I'm bringing you this chair, this table, because you didn't make you the author, it made you drunk it. Right? Actually, God and them did it. But I continue today to teach you that all you see and hear, so the brains don't hurt, come from me. God, we write the 5%. Check said, no man died, don't come out of the dead, so we went to now. So the dead doesn't know me, come from the grave. All the history is why anyone come out from physical death. This can't only come out from mental death, because we lost the time when mentally dead and mentally covered. Now physically dead, only mentally dead. I like this degree too, because it speaks to, I'm trying to be funny, it's in church or nothing, but it speaks to recovery. Because we understand that dead to us is not you leaving here physically. That's just matter changing. Yes, because of my connection to the God and to the family. And that physical tie itself, of course, they did with the law left. Hence the show and proof, because people heard, people went north, east, west, and south after that. There was pain. I mean, you know, it's like Rashid, you, or anybody, you know, like these cycles that we went through, these funerals that God was just talking about, back to back. You know, we felt that, man. Oh, man. But in the end, I understood that, make no mistake, there was no home that they're going to. They're traveling, yes. I'm not going to employ words that would suggest that there's a home somewhere. And then I'll meet you there. If I'm going to meet you anywhere, it'll be as this matter changes, and I'm traveling with you. Right? Death actually is your eyes wide shut, you inhaling and exhaling and lacking the knowledge of yourself. Right? Because the lost crown was once mentally dead, and many
I recovered from
Recovered from what, man? I recovered from being dead. I recovered from lying. I recovered from drugs. I recovered from, you know, whatever. Right? Because I was lost, but now I'm what? Found. And the root word to foundation is found. You can't spell foundation, not F-O-U-N-D. Right. So you understand this. Right. This is what made me the master. Like the God was saying, the Lord of all the world. Because, okay, you got caught up in 6. Sure did. Sure did. You know, and I have to keep to, because I see now, right? You know, the understanding comes in time. Right? That's why, you know, I make it my business to go here. Okay, this is what I need not do. But I use 120 as a map. Right? There's no question. I think the God, the God Star was talking about. So when we go back, because we got to renew the history of renewal. But God, my quotation is not doesn't necessitate without me being God. It's after I retain it, I internalize it, and that's where the problem lies. Because I didn't internalize it. I mean, I went through the first half. I quoted like everybody else impeccably, forwards and backwards. But that's all I did. Right? Until I had to learn, the only thing different between you and the 85% was your name is Larshaw, his name is Frank. To do the same thing he's doing. Right? And you get the same results Frank gets. Right? You know, you Frank's big brother. So, yeah. So, but again, like the God was saying, as we learn, you know, you see in our classes, man, no question. Signs and symbols of pre-mortal man. You know, you can't be right. I learned this from Pharaoh. He said, make this statement. I take this statement from him. You can't be strong in your house and weak in someone else's. I'm reiterating something about it, yes. Because see, in order for me to know the duty, I gotta know the meaning. And since mathematics the keys to unlock the doors of the degree, right? That means I got the knowledge of God. She ain't the only one knowledge of God. I'm not my brother. Peace, man. That's how you doing. right? So now I understand the meaning, and the meaning is when I have knowledge, when you understand culture, we find that being established with two happiness. Then you can perform the duty. See? But I like the God said, refinements in there too. I mean, people arguing over the nonsense. You know, refinement, Allah even said that. It was power originally, just power, but then he understood that you got to have refinement. Right, because you got to, right, and I know reiterating that because you have to be able to, you can't, you have, right, not only to speak the language of the people, but wisdom needs to be wise. You have to be able to discern when to say and do a thing and when not to. You know, God told me, he said, yeah, God, he kept cursing. And he was okay, I get it. You're passionate about what you're saying. I do that periodically, not often. He said, yeah, God, because the greatest curse is when, I said, don't do that, God. Right, I get what you get. The greatest curse is a person not getting the knowledge of himself, but that doesn't mean that I speak the language of the dead. No. Sit here, because you're passionate. In fact, Malcolm said, man, a man who constantly uses curse words is one who backs the intelligent world to put in their place anyway. Right, so, you know, I mean, when I'm talking to intelligent people like yours, let me employ intelligent work, you can still be passionate. You know, so, and like God said, yeah, yes, and we have to be able to, when we look at anything, TV, movie, I like love entertainment, right? You know, I remember as young guys in Jamaica Avenue, the Lowe's and the RKO, we got universal flags on, right? We still kicking each other. Yeah, I'm Bruce Lee. We still playing with one another. You know, because again, man, you know, you enjoy it, but at the end of the day, like God was taught, God, you know what he dropped? See? Because you know that you utilize the mathematics God said about, see, because people would have missed, and people have missed what Odin said to Thor. Right, God was saying, oh yeah, but you need to understand the science with that. And I think reiterating that because that's what we did right now. Some, not all of it. Some people do. You know what I mean? You know, I always say the eyes round the well-rounded picture, but you got people, man, with both eyes, you can't even see. Right, you know what I mean? God telling me, man, like that was crazy. He said, and I get that. I was thinking about that. I had a slight argument with that one. Brother, hey, peace, see?
Hey, peace.
I don't mean to blow you up, and I think you can get my hat back too. Yeah. So, my brother was saying about Buddha. Lastly, like him and all other people, the problem with that was when he passed away, like all men, Jesus, Buddha, all great men, then I changed the teachings to make it easier upon myself. That's what we taught. Like previously, he didn't teach, like Jesus said, I don't teach Christianity, I taught people to equality. You know what I mean? Religion was created later, and they associated my name with it, right? Afterwards. In fact, with disrespect, when I hear disparage people, I'm looking at our culture here. You took from this and created religion. Yeah. Good thief he was, yeah, no question. That's accurate. Right? No question. You went to Akabulam, right? People Afri and Kemet, they get the root word chemistry on black. You went there, the Greeks and Georgie and James, right? Go see him, meet him, right? After we bless you with the knowledge, we square off land and you go back, your thanks was, let me destroy the temple's blood source. But actually says when they know thyself and whatever, right? And then later on, but just like Buddha, 5,020, and he was around. The story you're giving me about him now is, because Buddha wasn't a fat dude. This is another image. You think that dude is super? That's not Buddha, right? Nope. He was Drake, the black people that lived in this particular land. See, but when you pass away, of course, because your teaching, and all these teachings, right, it meant to do the right thing. And right is opposite of wrong. See, I'm easily in the wrong direction because wrong, I do whatever I want to do wrong. Ain't no rules in this thing here. But right means that I got to get up at a certain time, I got to work, I got to do this, I got to be responsible. I got to be responsible for what I say and for what I do. Right? And this is what I'm teaching you. But now I know you're going now? Oh, no, yeah, you go, you know, this is what we're going to do. In conclusion, God said something again, man, top devil got here. So, we got C. He's the best known. He says it's all four corners of the planet Earth, because remember, you know, the European in here is just us. And I need you to continue to teach the people freedoms and equality. So I go one place, you go one place, and 2 or 3 other people go. I say, yeah, black people are divine, but create a statue in my name first, and I'll give you the rest. So that language nowadays is changed. God divine go over there and say, you know, I like to dress fly. So people are divine, but give me the best silk and continue to keep bringing that. So now you got 2 different languages, diametrically opposite of what he told us to do. The only one teaching is right is the God. One language singular. That's so. And there was no spooky. There were men sent. See, sent people like, well, listen, man, let me warn you of your wicked way, man. You know, that's right in Ezekiel, the 3 people. Ezekiel died on the wicked. I'm telling you, listen, man, he gonna die anyway because he a dummy. But you, ooh, a lot will be required in my hand because you didn't do what you're supposed to be doing. That's how this particular story went. And then later on, when you kept perpetuating this, and you didn't want to listen, in my class I'd say, spell the word ignorant, I-G-N-O-R-A-N-T. So I said, spell the word ignore, I-G-N-O-R. And every time you ignore the truth, you become further ignorant. Right. Every time you can't spell the word, matter of fact, even without spelling that word. So every time I ignore the truth, yeah, people telling me, right, okay, bet. So he said, you know what? It's going to be predicted. No. And we do it. Look at this dumb boy. Now, and then I just tell him not to do that. now what's going to happen to him? Right? Something happens and then so be it, because it was foreseen and predicted. Right. And this is how he got here. Right? People laugh at us, man. That's a crazy notion, you know, for you to. In fact, that's very disparaging to say that white people came from black people. How dare you? Okay, not a problem. So read National Geographic and how this foremost authority on science magazine compliments and confirms what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and what we were talking about, where he actually came from. First of all, they clone genes now, cloning food and other people. Right, at 70, 80 years ago, you laughed at that when that knowledge and wisdom came to the shores. You know, but we fast forward, right? Because the premise of my bill was, you know, again, not even taking what our teachings on face value. Right? We acknowledge them, no question, we retain them, but then you have to internalize it.
Yep.
Right? How are you the original man? Right? What do you mean? You quoted that, that was nice, okay. That's what everybody said, how are you the original man? Prove that. How do you walk into, I remember in Jamaica, Queens, I tell the story too, when we were young, I bust into this church. Right? Yeah, you remember that, Justice Hakim, his brothers, he break into the church, right? Because I'm hearing the brothers at Liberty Park, he's giving it up, like, yes! Black man's God, and this man's having a sermon, church full, first of all, he threw me out, church, get out of here, something's wrong with him. Right? Because first of all, he disrespected my house. Right? Secondly, then later on, still had difficulty. Because I'm walking around there, you know, whatever. And then they knew too, see, well, I won't say shrewd, but he called me in front of people, so he won't disrespect me. So let me humiliate you now. See, come here, man, say, how do you go? You do the God? What God you do? Listen, Jesus. You him. Okay, so now people are looking. So now ain't no justice, ain't no divine prince, ain't nobody around me. So I'm looking like, Yeah, how? Because Bishop man is, what do you, I don't know what that means. That was the first sign, first lesson. Because I don't speak that language, so I don't know what you mean by the original, who's the original man. We don't talk that here. But you come into my house, because even though you tell me that the mystery God isn't a reality to you, but it's prevalent in this world. Yours is microscopic, so to speak, because you can't even prove it. You just speaking subjectively, look at me, you know, and then I go later on, okay, shut up. Okay, let me read. Actually, he helped me later, because he hit me with this book, Black Presence in the Bible. He said, listen, man, he said, your approach was disrespectful first, because I'm going to go to Liberty Park. Oh, you know what you're doing, you're building, the 5% is here. But I'm going to disrespect your house. And then that's where I learned also in my father's mansion, there's many mansions. You ain't the only house here, right? I'm just saying we the best one. Why? Well, because more importantly, I'm saying that we need to know the knowledge of who we are. A wise man is one who seeks everything from within himself. Right? My mother and father broke their necks, like all our mothers and fathers. Like these people here. No disrespect. We're not here to disparage the 5%. I'm here to disparage Christians and Muslims. We partner with the community. Malcolm said, when I come get you, when the enemy gets you, I'm kidding about you being a Christian, about you being a Muslim or 5%er, getting you because you're black. You're the ones arguing about prefixes and titles. Look at me, look at my flag, see? I'm a 5%er, you're just a Christian. You know, you're a Muslim, look, I pray like this, and you're okay, yeah, when I come get you, I'm getting you because you're black. Right, you're not even looking at, you know, how you partner. That's why you partner with the community. Okay, let me give my ear. You know, again, so what's the meaning of something? Let me be civilized. You know what I mean? In fact, I remember Ahmed told me, Almighty God concluded, that Allah said, man, listen, man, in so many words, man, the Christian man is your brother. In the sense that, because I'm not bringing no harm to you, if you go in the corner to what you're saying is saying in that book, you want to partner with him. Right, you just understand ideologically, I mean, we just different paths here. Right, your pathway is different from mine, but you know, I get it. You know what I mean? I'm pieces of African confusion. You know what I mean? So, in bringing it back, I would just brought that up because the God had, thank you for that bill, had, you know, just kind of reiterated, you know, we have to make sure we're looking at things, whatever it is we're looking at. I'm not mad at you because you want to watch cartoons, but draw it up though.